If you find yourself anxious and stressed in the presence of large groups or one-on-one intimate conversations, hang out. This video is for you. What is going on, everybody? My name is Gordon Xavier, and I'm here to support you on your evolutionary journey. In this video, I want to share something that I've incorporated into my life that's supported me in releasing social anxiety and stepping into my center when it comes to interacting with other people, right, and making friends and connecting with people and expressing my message, right, whether that be to you or to my girlfriend or to my father or to my best friends. I've learned the importance of taking your time. There's no rush. There's no rush to do anything. There's no rush to say anything. There's no rush to change. There's no need to change. I've learned the beauty of silence. I've learned the power of the pause. Take your time. What you have to say and express is worth waiting for. And if someone doesn't have the patience or the capacity to wait as you find the words to express your truth, to express your light, that's on them. I can imagine that you want people in your life who wait for you, who have space for you, who care enough about you to chill out and let you be. I know for me, anxiety would oftentimes sprout from this pressurized, resistant urgency to say something, to fill the silence, to entertain, to perform. Check in with yourself. If you're experiencing social anxiety, ask yourself, is there a part of you that feels like you gotta perform for people? You got to entertain people? Because you don't. We've been conditioned to perform, but that's not the reality of who we are. Not the reality of the human spirit. We're here to serve, not perform. Service is about giving to the world and to others from your heart. And performance is about protecting yourself, protecting what you have, being liked. And if there's a need for you, if there's this part of you that is constantly seeking to be liked, that means there is a part of you that is constantly reinforcing and implying that you're not liked, that you're not already good enough. A lot of us get uncomfortable with silence. We get uncomfortable with pausing. But the nature of spirit, the nature of the human soul is eternal. That's why death is so weird to us. That's why like nobody wants to die. Nobody likes death, right? It's like death seems off. Death seems weird. It seems like, you know, none of us, like a lot of us have a hard time like really contemplating and wrapping our minds around the concept of dying. Because the nature of us on the spiritual level is we are eternal. We are part and parcels of God, whom has always been and whom will always be. So because we are eternal, what's the rush? There is no rush. We got forever. In the Bhagavad Gita, it talks about how the human spirit, or just they call any living entity jivas. We are jivas. I'm looking at a bumblebee. That's a jiva. I'm a jiva. You're a jiva. We're all jivas. We're all living entities with spirit souls. And everything, that bumblebee I just saw is going to die. That form is going to die. This form, Gordon, is going to die. And the jiva, the spirit soul, in the Bhagavad Gita, it says the spirit soul changes bodies like the human being changes clothes. And we do this for all of eternity. And personally, I've had an experience, I've had a taste of eternity in many experiences. I've had a taste of eternity in psychedelic experiences, in meditation, meditating whilst in psychedelic experiences, meditating while not in psychedelic experiences. I've tasted eternity. I've like actually experienced eternity. And I've had glimpses of remembrance, like, oh yeah, that's what I am. But a lot of us forget. We forget in this lifetime. We forget. And it's like our minds are wiped clean. We have amnesia. And then on top of that amnesia goes all of this societal programming that further reinforces our disconnection from our eternal nature. But we are eternal. We are eternal beings. And if you feel disconnected from that, as I'm saying that, I invite you to look at that rather than judge what I'm saying, how I'm calling you eternal, rather than judge that as bullshit. I invite you to entertain it. Okay, what if I am eternal? Why don't I feel like I'm eternal? Why don't I experience that? It's a great question. Look into that. So the reason I bring all this up is because, invite that eternal experience into this moment. And in order to do that, sometimes it takes a lot of letting go. Letting go of attachments. Our attachments keep us misidentified and distracted from ourselves. If I'm attached to thousands of things outside of myself, well, that means if I'm attached to it, that means a part of my consciousness is over there, latching on to that thing. So let's detach from that. And when we do so, that consciousness comes back to the center. And the more we detach from this physical world, like Jesus said, be in this world, not of it. Being of this world means, we're attached to it. We're of it. We're misidentified with it. And we think that, I think that I am all of this stuff. I think that I am my bank account. I think that I am my followers. I think that I am my dad. I think that I am my mother. I think that I am my spouse. And if I lose them, or if they change on me, or if they disagree with me, then I don't know who I am. If my bank account hits zero, I don't know who I am. I'm stressed. I'm going to die. That's being of this world. That's being attached. But when we detach, and mind you, we can still detach and still be fully engaged and present with the world. But the key to detachment is to stop misidentifying with all of those things. And when we do that, when we stop misidentifying with the world, we get our consciousness back, and our consciousness comes back to the center. And the more consciousness we have the more embodied we are, the more we are in our center, the more remembrance. Remember, right? Remember, rejoin. You're bringing back all the aspects of yourself back to the center, and you're finding oneness again. You remember God. You remember the one. You remember that you are part and parcel. And in that remembrance, you begin to experience different things. You experience life differently. You experience more clarity. You see the sky differently. You can sense the life in trees. There's a tree above me. Right? You can sense the consciousness in them. Things shift. And you'll experience yourself as eternal. And you'll begin to see how the world that we live in is designed to keep us from remembering. Right now I'm looking, somebody has a clock on their back porch. There's a clock there. Time, this useful concept. It's useful. And it's perverted. It keeps us trapped in a cycle. It keeps us trapped in needing to be somewhere other than where we're at. It's useful. Don't get me wrong, it's useful. And we're attached to it. And so we become misidentified with it, and then time controls us. It's one of the many things that society forces upon us that keeps us from remembering and experiencing our eternal nature, our eternal selves. It's one of the many things that keeps us distracted. We are distracted in many ways. And those distractions keep us from taking our time. If there was no distractions, you can be totally present. You'd be totally present. If you weren't distracted by all these things happening in the world, you'd be totally here. And when you're totally here, you see now is all there is. Now is forever. Now is all there is. Which means now is eternity. You're living in eternity. You're experiencing eternity. You're experiencing an aspect of eternity in this physical world. All in all, anxiety goes away when you remember your spiritual self. Anxiety goes away when you remember that you're eternal. Anxiety goes away when you connect with your center fully, when you're fully embodied and you're not misidentified with the world. Anxiety goes away when you're in this world as opposed to of this world. And you're free from it. Anxiety goes away when you remember your spiritual self, and death becomes less scary because you remember that you're eternal, because your consciousness isn't out there, but it's here. And when it's here, you can experience, you can sense what you really are. But when your consciousness is out there, it's busy entangled in all that stuff, and so you're missing the point. You're missing yourself. So many people out there don't know who they are. Who am I? I don't know who I am. I feel so lost in this world. Was it Amazing Grace? How sweet the sound. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Right? I once was lost, but now I'm found. We're lost when our consciousness is attached to all that stuff out there. We're found when it's detached and the consciousness comes back inside, comes back to center, comes back to your heart, comes back to the core essence of who you are. That's when you're found and you remember. And you're connected with your power again. You're connected with ease, you're connected with grace, you're connected with God. You're connected with your truth, your power, freedom. And this world stops scaring you. Disease stops scaring you. Death stops scaring you. That's what anxiety is at the core. Fear of the emptiness, fear of the death, fear of rejection. Fear of rejection is just fear of death. Remember your eternal self. Take your time. By taking your time, you invite yourself to slowly remember. When you're talking to people, you see when I'm making these videos, I take my time. I'm not trying to entertain you. Right? I'm not trying to like put on a show. I'm taking my time. Take your time when you're talking to people. When you're talking to yourself, when you're doing your thing, take your time. Pace yourself. Pause. Breathe. Meditate. Connect with the eternal moment of now. And watch all resistance, watch anxiety fade. Watch yourself become fulfilled. The now offers more than enough. And you can fill yourself with that. You can become fulfilled. Thank you for watching this video. If you found this helpful, if you want to watch more videos, if you want to connect more, hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and like this video. Let me know that you enjoyed it, you appreciate it. And if you want to connect with me on a deeper level and reflect, talk about your experience of life, you can go to my website, GordonXavier.com, and book a free 30-minute coaching call with me. Or you can go to the link in the description box and sign up for my free trainings. And we can continue to evolve together. So, until next time, take care. Namaste.